Ladies and gentlemen, today we have a very special buddy review. I'm calling this or that because we have not one but two cars. Yep, behind me are two Cadillacs. To my right is the CT4 and to my left is the CT5 V-Series or V, however you want to call it. Now, for a buddy review, of course, I need a buddy, so come on over, buddy.
Hey Dad, how's it going?
I'm doing well. So in this review, we're going to do a whole bunch of things. We're going to take them for a ride and find out how they are from 0 to 60, how quick they are. We're going to see if we can find lunch. We're going to see how they ride. And then, of course, at the end of this video, we're going to let you know whether you should buy them, lease them, rent them, or forget them. But as always, why don't you start with a quick styling review of both?
Now, don't adjust your TV monitors. These are, in fact, two different cars, even though they look very similar. For this year, Cadillac has really changed around some of their naming conventions because the smaller car used to be called the ATS. This would compete with things like the 3 Series, the C-Class, CA4. Now they're calling it the CT4. And on the bigger end of the spectrum, we've got the CT5, and this used to be called the CTS. So much more kind of logical naming convention now. The smaller the number, the smaller the car. The bigger the number, the bigger the car. But overall styling is pretty similar, and I think that's a great thing because both of these cars are probably some of the best looking sedans in their class. They're very muscular, very angular. Cadillac nailed the styling on these models. They're just perfect. They're really cool. Now we'll start with the CT4. Both of them have a very similar light blade that extends down the length of the vehicle. It's vertical, looks great in your rearview mirror, extremely menacing. On the CT5, you'll notice that light blade is actually interrupted here in the middle by the bumper and then continues down here on the lower fascia. Now the V-Series, of course, is the high performance model, and as such, it's got a different front end than the CT4, which is the Premium Luxury. Now the Premium Luxury's got some chrome, it's got some sparkle on the front here, big menacing Cadillac logo there. The CT5 V-Series, it's all blacked out. It is so rad looking. I love this mesh grille. You do have a pop of color here with the Cadillac emblem, but you'll notice the grille surround is blacked out, all the front fascia completely blacked out. It's just great. I mean, compare this to something like the 5 Series, the A6, the Lexus ES. This is just a better looking car. Compare the CT4 to something like a 3 Series and A4. It's just a better looking car. I mean, that's the best thing about these vehicles is the design. Now, under the hood of the CT4, you'll find a 2.7 liter 4-cylinder turbo. There are a couple of engine options. The base engine option is a 2-liter 4-cylinder turbo. This is a 2.7 4-cylinder turbo. You'll find this engine in another GM product, but a fairly different GM product. This shares a lot in common with the Silverado 4-cylinder turbo. Now, on the larger end of the spectrum, the V-Series has a twin-turbo V6. So, the CT5 starts life as well with a 2-liter turbo as well, but this is the high-performance model, so bigger engine, more turbos.
Am I wrong, Tommy, or didn't the outgoing car have over 600 horsepower?
Yes, so there was a CTS V, the previous gen had 640. There was also the CTS V Sport with a 3.6 liter twin turbo. That one had more power than this as well.
How much does this one have?
It's like 360.
360, so we've gone from 600 to 360.
Yes.
Why is that?
That's a great question. I'm really hoping that in the future we'll see like a crazier one with like a Corvette engine in it, but right now this is the highest performance V-Series.
Hey, maybe the 10-speed transmission that's in here will make up for those lost 300 horsepower.
Now, funny enough, the smaller one, right, the CT4,
yep,
you can also get this one in a V-Series.
Oh.
That one also doesn't have 600 horsepower, but what are you going to do?
The good news is that they do both come in all-wheel drive, and in fact, these are both all-wheel drive versions. So which one do you want to take for a ride first? Shall we go with the Baby Bear or the Papa Bear?
Let's do the Premium Luxury CT4 and then we'll check out the performance model.
Alright, I'm guessing this one's going to be a little bit slower, this one's going to be a little bit faster, but I'm really curious about how much price difference there is between the two. So let's hop inside and check out the Monronis. Hey Tommy, in the buddy review, you're supposed to be in the passenger seat. What are you doing in the back?
Yeah, I want to check out the rear seats of the CT4. Not great, to be honest. My head is completely jammed up against the ceiling, like, you know, forcefully, and then the legroom, pretty much non-existent at my seating position, 6'1" here, so Not a great rear seat, Dad.
All right, hop in the front. Let's go for a ride.
All right.
All right, Tommy, let's talk numbers. How much does this bad boy cost?
So the CT4, as you see tested, $49,640.
All right, and how about the CT5 V-Series?
Well, that one over there is $57,680.
Whoa, you mean the big boy is only $8,000 more than this guy?
That is correct. Yeah, exactly $8,000.
All right. Well, I'm already kind of leaning toward the V-Series just because, you know, for $8,000 more, I feel like I'm getting a lot more car.
Now, these are two very different trims, right?
Yeah.
This is a luxury-oriented model, the CT4. If you want a sporty one, there's also a CT4 V-Series. But this luxury-oriented one has that 2.7-liter four-cylinder, 310 horsepower, 350 pound-feet of torque.
How about fuel economy?
20 city, 23 combined, 28 highway.
All right. And I got to tell you, I'm kind of lukewarm about the interior. It feels just a little too much Silverado-y. And what I mean by that is I've got some switches here, especially on this side, that look like they're right out of the Silverado. This screen looks like it's right out of the Silverado. And look, it's not bad to have parts sharing, but I want to feel special when I'm driving a Cadillac. And, you know, I just feel kind of eh.
Well, here, I'll show you. Let me put those stickers away here. I'll show you what you're talking about, right? Like this right here in the dash, it's just really cheap plastic. The vents are cheap plastic. It just doesn't feel like a 50 grand car in here. The screen's only 8 inches. It's kind of covered, you know, they molded in some plastic to make it appear bigger. Just not all that premium, which is a shame because the outside is so cool, but the inside kind of lets it down a little.
Yeah, I know. I mean, Mercedes now does a screen, and so does Audi that kind of goes across the whole thing. So does Lexus. This feels like you're one generation behind. Like they're still doing a screen from 2015 and not 2020. But I do like this leather. I think it's very nice, Tommy. All right, ready? I'm just going to floor it. Here we go. Merging onto the highway. Floored. Oh yeah, there we go. A little growl there.
Alright, so 0 to 60 at a mile above sea level with 3 people in the car, just impromptu. 7.49 seconds, 353 feet.
That's not bad.
Yeah, that's pretty good actually.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
The little, I shouldn't say little, it's actually a big displacement 4-cylinder in this. Has a cool growl, and you do accelerate to 60 pretty darn quickly when you really push it.
Alright, how about our sound meter, please?
The fuzzy fell off.
Oh no.
Alright.
Not the fuzzy.
So 60 miles an hour. 64.6 decibels or so.
Yeah, it's okay. You know, we've been in cars that are a little bit more quiet. There's a little bit of wind noise, but we don't have a sunroof, and that helps a lot. In terms of the interior, like I say, I think they need to take it up a notch. Like in the Mercedes, you'd have these round rotary air vents, which make a design statement. Here, this is just you know, something that you would see in every other General Motors car. It's not that exciting.
You do have, get this though,
Yeah.
2 volume knobs.
Get out.
Yeah, you've got one down here.
Yeah.
This adjusts the radio volume.
Yeah.
And you've got one up here.
Hold on. All right. Let's have a little battle, okay?
Yep.
You turn yours up, I'll turn mine down. Go.
Go.
Why 2 volume knobs, dude?
Yeah, I don't know. It's like they saw the criticism Honda got for eliminating the volume knobs, and they're like, aha, we're going to add 2.
Actually, there's another one over here, I believe. There's 3 volume knobs.
Yeah, there's the buttons on the steering wheel.
Yeah, so we have 3 ways of controlling the volume. So that's a little over the top. How about lunch, Tommy? Are you hungry?
Yeah, let's navigate to Snarf Sandwiches.
All right, I'm going to hit the little talk thing here.
What would you like?
Navigate to Snarf's Sandwiches.
Okay, searching for Snarf sandwiches. I'm finding more than one match. Because it may take you a while to choose, please do so manually from the display.
Look at that, it worked perfectly.
Dude, we get to have lunch this time. That's a new one.
Awesome, that was a killer result.
Okay.
So, the system is not super high res, right? But it does the trick really, really well.
Yeah, you know, I mean, if you're used to GM products, you'll be used to this. I do like the fact that it's very colorful, right? There are different color combinations.
There are a lot of colors, you're right, absolutely.
And I'm getting kind of a little bored of this design where it's stuck on there like a lost iPad, you know what I mean?
What do you mean by a lost iPad?
It's just stuck on, like it's just somebody took some, you know, double-sided sticky tape and just went bloop.
Okay. It does have a rotary control though too, down by the shifter.
That's nice.
Yeah,
and touchscreen.
And touchcheck and wireless charging too. So features-wise, you got a lot of features too. Lane keep assist, ventilated seats, heated seats. Now we're coming up on a rough road. Should we check out the suspension calibration?
Yeah, let me put it in the right mode here.
It's actually down here.
Oh, here's my. Put it in Tour. Yeah, we've got Tour, Sport, Snow and Ice, and then of course my mode. So are we in the softest? Put it up there. We're hitting the hard stuff now.
Yeah, here we go.
Here we go. This is our Hula girl test. The more she dances, the worse the ride. She's not dancing that much. I'm gonna give that a 2, dude.
2?
Yeah, 2 out of 10.
Wow, that's very generous.
You think it's more?
Oh yeah, I think it's like a 7.
Get out.
It's a sports sedan. It's pretty rough, Dad.
Okay, well, we'll agree to disagree on that one. But I've seen her dance a lot more. I've seen her, you know, luau at the party in such a way that she was falling down. I
mean, keep in mind too that this is a luxury-oriented one, so it's probably going to be a little softer than the V.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's not too bad. It's very German, right? It feels very 3 Series, maybe like A4 S line.
Yeah, and I gotta say, that's kind of the part of me that wishes Cadillac would just knock it off, right? Just stop trying to out-German the Germans, you know? Stop competing with BMW, Audi, and Mercedes, and, you know, go back to American luxury. Don't worry about racetrack times. Don't worry about necessarily how well it sticks around a corner, but worry about how it does when it's going on a long road trip across the American prairies, because that's what Cadillacs were really good for, right? We don't have a lot of turns on our interstate, so why are you building a car for the German Autobahn? That has always been a little bit confusing to me, and especially now I kind of feel like, you know, Cadillac kind of set the bar at the Germans, and with this car, at least styling wise and in some other ways, they probably, you know, met that bar, and then Tesla came along and completely reset the bar, and so now they're building a car to you know, a way that people no longer necessarily want. Let's face it, the best-selling vehicle in this segment, the 3 Series, is getting killed by the Tesla Model 3. It just is, in terms of sales, which to me says people want that new design and simplicity and technology of the Tesla, not what, you know, used to be the high watermark, which was the 3 Series.
Well, let's check out the CT5. We're almost back to the office, and we'll see what that one's like. All
right, Tommy, so what's the back seat like in the bigger 5 Series competitor?
Well, headroom is still very poor.
Yeah.
It's not enough for taller folks. But legroom is actually much improved. The seat is all the way back, much more comfortable in the back seat of this guy. So that is good to see. But they really need to figure out a way to either lower the rear seat or, you know, maybe flatten out the roof lane a little.
Yeah, but then you lose that really good sloping design to the back, and it won't be as sexy.
Yeah, but I'm gonna suffer early hair loss at this rate, sitting in the backseat of this car.
All right, Tommy, once again, let's talk numbers. Remind me, how much does the CT5 V-Series cost?
This one is $57,680.
So it's only $8,000 more than the CT4.
That's right, yeah, and this one is a twin-turbo V6.
Yeah.
360 horsepower, 405 pound-feet of torque. It also has all-wheel drive.
Yeah.
And interior-wise, it's fairly similar. It's a little different, but overall much nicer, partially because we've got a bigger screen.
Yeah, I like this interior a lot more. I feel now somewhat special. Once again, we're looking at 3 ways to control the volume. 1, 2, and then 3 on the steering wheel, which to me is probably 2 ways too many, but Cadillac, you be Cadillac. How big is that screen?
It's about 10 inches, so
okay.
A couple inches larger. I also love on this V-Series, we've got this carbon fiber trim throughout, which is pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
And this one also has paddle shifters, which makes it feel a lot more sporty.
And this really fat steering wheel. I love the steering wheel, dude. Immediately, I feel much more at home in this car than I do in the 4.
I think that there's quite a lot of value in this one as well. So if you look at its competition like the 5 Series,
yep,
you're not going to get into an all-wheel drive 540i for under like 61 grand MSRP.
Yeah.
This you get a very nicely equipped CT5 V-Series all-wheel drive for, you know, 58 grand. So it's it's pretty good value, and that's even before you start talking about like the M550i or the M5, which of course is probably in another level. So value-wise, I think that there is a case to be made in the CT5 V Sport.
How about fuel economy?
The fuel economy, it's obviously a little worse than its little brother. So 20 combined, 17 city, 25 highway. We've got a bunch of drive modes. This one also is a track mode.
I saw that, and I just put it in sport mode because we're going to be merging onto the road, so I want to give it the best shot at getting it fastest time. So the other one was what, 7.4?
7.5-ish.
So what do you think this will do?
I'm going to say a second quicker.
You think 6.5?
I think at sea level this would be well into the 5s, maybe even the high 4s, but with 3 people in the car, not ideal conditions, about mid 6s.
You know why I feel special?
Why?
Because I got a V button right there.
Yeah, isn't that cool?
Yeah, look, a V button. You know what that does?
Yeah, it's a configurable. It's like
makes
an M button.
Very fast.
Yeah, we'll see about that.
Very sporty. What that does is it allows you to configure the throttle response, the steering, and of course the magnetic shocks, right? We've got those in this, the 4.0, right? The latest version of their adjustable shocks.
Yeah, adjustable suspension.
Yeah, which is pretty cool.
Floor, go.
I'm going, here we go. We almost got a super roll bar, you know what? Well, that's a surprise.
Did you push the pedal all the way down?
No, only halfway. Of course I pushed it all the way down.
Well, we didn't brake torque it, but...
Look, I had a Subaru Forester up my butt.
From a launch, 7.5 without brake torquing. That's not as quick as I thought it would be.
All right, what's the level of noise in here, or quietness?
All right. Hovering around 63.6. So
a little bit more quiet. I would do the snarfs test, but we've already done it once. It's going to be the same result. It's the exact same system, so I'm going to give that a big old pass.
So I'm very confused about kind of what this car is, right?
Yeah.
Because in the previous generation CTS, there was the full-out V, which had 640 horsepower.
Right.
But there was also a V Sport, which had a twin-turbo V6. I think that one had about 400 horsepower.
Right.
What's confusing though is it doesn't sound like, based on the Cadillac marketing, that there's going to be a higher performance version of this car. It sounds like this is kind of the top dog right now, and that's a little disappointing because it feels like there should be one above this.
Yeah, so like let's put it in like some kind of Audi speak that people might get, right? So with all the Germans, right, you've got the regular vehicle, then you've got, like with the Audi, you've got the S, and then you've got the RS, right?
Right.
And it feels like they're not going to make the RS version of this. This is the top dog. So the S now in the Audi world becomes the top dog, which is a little bit strange, I agree.
And do you remember, like last year, there were all these articles that came out about why Cadillac went this route?
Yeah.
And they said that the crazy high performance ones were unapproachable for drivers, and like
they were too fast.
Yeah, they were too fast.
Too fast.
I
yeah.
disagree. I don't think there's a such thing as too fast, but hey, that's what they're going for.
All right, now we're coming up on the rough road, and we are
in tour mode.
Okay, so far she's not dancing at all.
No, she's doing really well.
Yeah, I mean that is no dancing. Oh, there she goes.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, I'm trying to hit the bumps on purpose.
I think in some ways this is smoother than that shorter wheelbase CT4 we just came out of.
You're right. You know, I gave that one a 2. Maybe I'm going to revise that one to a 3 and this one to a 2.
Yeah, I'm going to give this one like a 4.
Yeah.
It's pretty good, actually.
It's really good, actually.
Yeah, that mag ride really does the trick.
Yeah.
So the thing you notice, even driving this car around a short distance, like you get a huge amount of attention in it. And I think it's because on black with that front end.
Triple black. How badass is that?
It's just really menacing. Yeah, it's a really menacing design. I just wish that it had a big old V8 under there to kind of back out its menacing looks. So
let's head back to the office and let's rate these two this or that vehicles, whether you should buy them, lease them, rent them, or forget them. All right, Tommy, on the TFL scale of buy it, lease it, rent it, or forget it, what do you give the CT4?
I'm going to go with the lease it. The design, like I said, is brilliant, but interior, not quite as good as the German competition, and it's quite expensive.
Yeah, I'm between a rent it and a lease it, right in between those two. I like the way it looks, but yeah, it's expensive. How about the V-Series CT5?
Well, it's not nearly as crazy as the old V.
Yeah.
But then it's also pretty affordable, so I'm going to go buy it on the V-Series.
Really? I'm going to go in between lease it and buy it. Once again, I love the styling. but I'm kind of bummed out that they really dropped the horsepower, and I just can't get over it. Sorry.
Maybe there'll be like a crazy 600 horsepower down the road. But as always, this has been Tommy
And Roman saying thanks for watching. Remember, check out TFLcar.com for more news, views,
and real world Cadillac reviews.
and remember, if you like our shirts, you can help support the team by clicking on the link below and getting yourself one. See you guys next time. Ciao.